Hi there, Mrs. Ehlke here. Today I'm drawing with Aaron, who is how old?
9.
9. You had to think about that for a second. Aaron is probably one of the biggest Harry Potter fans out there. He loves the books, loves the movies. We do Harry Potter quizzes all the time. We play Harry Potter games. We make Harry Potter wands. You get the idea, right? So today, of course, Aaron wanted to make something Harry Potter related. And who did you pick today, Aaron?
Albus Dumbledore.
Albus Dumbledore, headmaster at Hogwarts. So today we wanted to do a drawing and coloring of Albus Dumbledore. You want to show them what we did?
Ta-da!
And there you have our Dumbledore pictures. See if you can make Dumbledore like we did. It's very step by step. Just follow along, follow the steps and see what happens, all right? If you guys are liking these videos, please hit that subscribe button down below and like this video and come and check back for more fun pictures that we will be doing in the future, all right? Thanks for watching, guys. So to begin our painting and drawing of Dumbledore here, we're going to start with a curved line that goes across our picture. It's a little bit above halfway up the page. Then I'm going to create a line that kind of angles out on both sides to create the side of the hat, and then kind of a line that connects them that can have a little bit of wave to it. The top of his hat has this tassel, so I'm going to add some lines over like this to make the tassel. And then there's this kind of stitching detail, so I'm going to make kind of a dashed line that goes across here, and then like a little dashed zigzag that goes above that line to show that there's some stitching in this hat. It's a little bit of a fancy hat. Throw maybe some dots and stuff going on inside of this area. There's even some little sections above here that have some detailing in this fabric, so we give it a little bit of that detail. All right, now we're going to work on the face structure. So I'm not going to start right at the edge of the hat. I'm going to move in a little bit, and I'm going to create a line that comes out like this on both sides, leaving a little bit of a gap on both sides of the face. Then it's going to kind of come back in like this on both sides. And then I'm going to have it do like a rainbow line. So it's going to kind of come up, across, and down like so. Then I'm going to add a curved line above. Any guesses what this is going to be, Aaron?
The nose.
The nose. And I'm going to add little curves on both sides of the nose like this to give it a nice nose shape. And then I'm going to go up on the side like this to go to the top of the nose. Now I'm going to go ahead and make the eyebrows next. And to do that, I'm going to curve up and then make another curve and then kind of go like that. His eyebrows have some pretty funky shapes going on. The other one's not quite as crazy. It just kind of goes up and then over like that. And then I'm going to give him kind of some bushiness by making kind of a bushy line on the top of the eyebrows, because his eyebrows are pretty thick. All right, now we've got the nose and the eyebrows. We're going to add some eyes in. To make the eyes, I'm going to add kind of a diagonal line up, a straight line across, and a diagonal line down. Looks like the top of a trapezoid. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. And then I'm going to have some circles hanging from those shapes. Now another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a black circle on the inside of the eyes. That's where it makes it look like he's looking at you. Okay. I'll add a little bit of a line underneath. It doesn't even need to go all the way across. And then because Dumbledore is an older guy, we're gonna throw some wrinkles there on his face. So I'm gonna add a U under his eyes, and then maybe even add a little bit of another U under that. I'm also gonna give him kind of a forehead wrinkle that goes across too. All right, next I'm gonna give him the bottom of his mustache just by adding kind of some dashed lines right under where his nose is. And then it's gonna go kind of straight down on the sides like that. And then kind of come up like this in the middle. And his mouth would be kind of right here, so I can put a line for his mouth and then another line for the bottom of his lip. Now his beard, I'm gonna go ahead and make a horizontal line that's a little bit lower than where his mouth is. Maybe you could even measure by taking your fingers and holding it where the face is and then bringing it down below his mouth. I want it to be about that long. And I'm gonna just put a little mark right here, a little horizontal rectangle. And I want his beard to come down to that mark. So I'm gonna start right by where his nose is about, and I'm gonna kind of make this line that goes down to the top of that rectangle. I'm gonna do that on this side too. Kind of make this line that goes down to that rectangle for his beard. And then it's gonna kind of poof out again along the bottom there. And then Dumbledore's hair is very curly, wavy. So when I start on the top here, I'm gonna go out first and then in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, and kind of squiggle it towards the bottom. And I'm gonna kind of add some more curls and curvy lines here to show his curly hair. And I'm going to do that the same thing here, add some nice wavy lines, and then have them kind of get smaller as we go down. Now his shoulders would be about the same as kind of where his chin is. So here's his chin. I'm going to kind of just move my marker like this and then throw in some shoulders for Dumbledore. And now we are ready to add some color. All right, so let's go ahead and get our colored pencils ready. We will add some color to our pictures. All right, when adding some color, we'll start with some skin tones. So here's a skin tone color. And we're gonna go ahead and just kind of lightly color this area.
Mine needs to be sharpened.
I'll just kind of work with it for now. We can always sharpen them in a minute. I like to start with the skin when I'm working on a person because then you can kind of add some other details later. Some darks or some lights, maybe some other colors that we can throw in there too. All right, so the next thing that we're gonna do, we've added the kind of the peachy skin tones, is we're just gonna switch to like a lighter brown. And I'm gonna just kind of go over some of the areas that I'd want a little bit darker. I'm gonna start by kind of adding a little bit of lighter brown to the edges of the face, just to kind of add some shading. I'm gonna do that on both sides, just kind of right along where his beard and his hair are. I'm also going to add some by his upper lip and right under his lower lip. I'll do the same thing with some of the wrinkles, just kind of add a little bit of brown by the wrinkles to give those a little bit of shading. And then usually kind of right by the nose, under the nose, it's a little bit darker. So I'm going to add a little bit of shading under there. I'll do a little bit under the eyebrows. So you can color a little bit of brown under the eyebrows and then a little bit by the wrinkle on the top as well. All right, next I'm going to put the brown away and switch to some gray. Here, I'll take your brown. You give me a gray and you take a gray.
There's a gray.
And they're right here on the end. All right. So the hat is actually more of a charcoal gray, so a darker gray, except for where all this detailing is. That's yellow. So I'm going to go under the detailing with some gray in there. And then I'm going to do kind of the top part of the hat with some gray too. And if you don't have gray, like in your colored pencil set, you could always just color this with like a regular pencil. That would probably work too, to give you kind of a nice gray tone. My gray is called Elephant Gray, so this is a little bit different than Aaron's. Mine's kind of a warmer one. His is a cooler one.
Cloudy gray.
Cloudy gray. See, they have all kinds of fun names for these colors. So I'm gonna add some gray here to the top part of the hat, and then I'm gonna add some yellow in the detailing here by just using kind of a little bit of a creamy yellow color. Here's a yellow for you.
This one's dark chocolate.
And I'm gonna throw that in where the stitching is on the hat, and then the tassels up on the top actually have some yellow too. So where those lines are, I'll throw in a little bit of yellow. Now Dumbledore really doesn't have a lot of color going for him here. He's a lot of gray. His clothes that he wears is like a grayish blue, and then of course his hair is kind of a whitish gray. So I think what we'll do is use your real light blue, and I'm gonna just try to color real lightly with the blue on where his clothes are first, and then I might even add a little bit of gray on top of it just to kind of give him a little bit more color, because he is pretty gray overall. So I'm just trying to press real lightly with my blue and get some color there on his shirt. And then I'm going to even maybe add a little bit of gray to it as well, since his blue is kind of more of a grayish blue. You have the gray, I think, still right here. Yeah.
I have the gray.
So you can put that in and color so that looks like his shirt is behind his hair here. I'm trying to kind of be careful along my edges of where the hair is. And then while we've got this gray color, we could go ahead and add some details. Now I don't want to color all of his hair. I want it to stay pretty light. So I'm just going to kind of maybe shade the hair with the gray. So maybe along the edges like we did the face, I'll add a little bit of gray. I might just add some lines to show kind of where the beard is coming down. We'll add some gray over here, some up in here by the mustache. So I'm not coloring, I'm just kind of adding some lines to show the direction that the hair is going. And the same thing over here. I'm just I do want it a little bit darker by the face. So right next to the face, just to kind of help frame it, I'm gonna go and pretty much color with some gray along like the insides. And then the outsides, I'll just probably add a couple of wavy lines that kind of go with my lines on the outside of the hair. Like that. And then, let's see, I believe Dumbledore has blue eyes. So I'm gonna go back to my blue. Got a blue? And we'll color the eyes in blue around those blacks.
It's peacock blue.
Nice. I'm back to the gray for the eyebrows. I forgot to add some color into those. And then Aaron, what color do you want the background to be? That's where we could kind of add a different color into this.
I know, black.
A black background you could do. I'm thinking maybe I'll do kind of a shade of brown, reddish brown. You can pick whatever color you want for your background. See how it looks.
I want to do, what's this one?
Dark chocolate brown. All right.
I'm doing dark chocolate.
So we can add kind of a little bit of a background. When there's not much color in the face, by adding a little bit of a brighter color in the background, it'll be a kind of a nice contrast. So it'll give a nice different look to the picture. And then we'll go from being everything kind of similar in color, all these light blues and grays, give kind of a pop of color in the background, make the face really stand out. So I'm going to go ahead and add a nice background color, nice rich color to my background. You can also blend, so let's say Aaron wanted to do more than one color. He could start with his chocolate brown and then maybe add another shade of another color right on top too. Don't be afraid to blend with your colored pencils. Try mixing two colors together. See what you can come up with. I'm trying to be really careful next to the hair and the hat so that I don't color in those areas. I'm pushing kind of hard with my colored pencil so I get some nice bright colors. We're using Arteza colored pencils. They really have a nice color to them, nice bright coloring. And I'm making sure too to go right like where the hair and the shoulders are. I want that to be really nice and dark right behind him so he stands out in front of those areas. So I'm really pushing hard right next to him and then right above his shoulders. All right, what do you think, Aaron?
Good. It kind of looks like Dumbledore's face is floating right below the water.
Oh, well, do you know how we can solve that is by adding a little bit more shading on his clothing so that it looks like it's farther under him. So sometimes when you're finished and you say, oh, I think something looks a little bit off, we can add a little bit more shading like near his beard, under his hair, maybe even by his shoulders, and that can kind of help make it so that it doesn't look like his head's floating in water. If you wanted to get really fancy, you could add some of the detailing on his shirt too, because his shirt has kind of some fancy stitching just like the hat does. But I think I'm going to leave the shirt kind of simple. Maybe I'll add a little bit more gray in here just to give it a little bit more contrast with his hair, so that hair stands out. And there you have Albus Dumbledore. What's Albus's middle name? Do you remember?
He has like...
Doesn't he have lots of
yes, he has
middle
like
names?
5,
Oh
maybe.
man, hard to remember. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed drawing and coloring Dumbledore with us. If you are liking these videos, please subscribe to our channel and check out some other videos that we've done doing Harry Potter characters. All right, have a good one, guys. Thanks for watching.